We are just heading out on our nightly direct mail, Emery's hand-written flyers. We photocopy them. And we now, how many houses have you done where you've passed them out? What'd you say? 75? Well, that's pretty darn good. So we've done 75 homes in the neighborhood who they've got Emery's flyer, and it's for her dog walking company, and we've had a couple of responses, which is very encouraging, and we're just going to keep handing these out. I think after today we have another 20, so close to what, 100?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll get to 100 by the end of the weekend, so that's a lot of fun. So that's what we'll do. Hello.
Hi.
What we're going to do is we're a few streets away. I want to talk, Emery, and it's great that you're here with me. I want to talk about something, a marketing idea. You'll watch this video in 5 or 10 years. These are your Dear Emery videos. And I want to talk about marketing today to you and to the elite men that are watching this. And I want to connect it to the lemonade stand story, the lemonade stand that we're planning on having here in a week in this community. So Emery and I are planning a lemonade stand, and the details, what's most important about the lemonade stand is that it's an excellent teaching point about something that I relearned in 2022. And it made such a difference for our business. And that is upsell, 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 upsell. And what I mean by that is no matter what product you sell, lemonade is an example. So Emery and I are going to have a lemonade stand up here at the stop sign where everybody comes through the gate. Lemonade is the main product, but the problem is a lot of main products, there's no profit or very little profit, or you sometimes go negative in the profit. So I've relearned in 2022 the importance of upsells, you can call them bumps, but impulse buys like you see at the grocery store. Oh yeah, you run ahead, yep, and you look both ways, okay? And upsells are so critical to profitability. So as an example, when we're getting her lemonade stand here, and I taught this to you, Emery, in the summer, and it was really valuable. You and your friend Taylor were gonna have a lemonade stand around the lake, which was a great idea. The thing that really made it a profitable idea is when we added in a couple of upsells. And this applies to any type of business, but you gotta have upsells, online, offline, regardless, you gotta have the upsells. So what we did with Emery's summer lemonade stand is lemonade was the main product, a cup of lemonade. It was, you have to pay for the cups, you have to pay for the lemonade at the store, you gotta pay for ice, you gotta pay for your time to put it all together. So in a lot of cases, your main product, the first time that somebody does business with you, whether it's selling a pizza, whether it's selling a book, whether it's selling flooring, whether it's consulting, a lot of times the lead magnet, or the first time that they do business with you, you're basically buying a client. So what really helps with the cost of acquisition, because we've done Facebook ads in the past, YouTube ads, and now I'm committed to almost 95% offline. So what's happening is I need to pay for my marketing to acquire these clients. So it's the same with Emery's lemonade stand. She's not gonna make a lot of money if she sells a cup of lemonade. So what we did is we added 2 upsells, and I said to her, okay, what are your upsells? I said, where are your cookies? Where are your cakes? Where are you gonna get your impulse buys? So it was amazing when her and Taylor went to visit all of the neighbors in our community. They did a really wonderful job of offering the lemonade to everybody. And then they gave them the old Columbo close, I call it, where just one more thing. And then they said, You know, if you love the lemonade, which who doesn't love lemonade, Emery would say, or Taylor would say to them, a cookie would go great with that. Good work. A cookie would go great with that lemonade. And then, of course, about 30 to 40 to 50% of people are going to buy the upsell. It's just found money. It's an impulse buy. So they got the lemonade, and Emery says to them, well, you have that cup of lemonade, a cookie would go great with that. So then she would say, they'd ask, how much is it? And instead of $2, now the price for the cookie and the lemonade was $5. She just doubled, over 65% increase in profits by adding that one upsell. Now, in my business, as an example, I start my relationship with my customers and my clients by selling a physical book. If you buy my book, How to Not Get Your Ass Kicked in Business and in Life, that's the first product you probably bought from me. Now I had to write that book, I have to print that book, I have to advertise that book. So for me to sell a book, it's a couple $100 in expenses. Everybody says, oh, it's only a $10 book and you sell it for $20 or $30. Well, the point being is we have acquisition costs, right? It's the same for your product. Put in there the equation, your time, your printing, whatever it is. So in my case, I'm in the $200 range to print that book. That's not even taking in the time, the hours and the days and the weeks to write the book. But nonetheless, I got the book is, when a person buys the book, they buy the book for $20 as an example. But all of the acquisition, the secret then is the 2 upsells on the book site. So after they buy the book, another page comes up, and what does that page offer? That page offers something that's very congruent. Very congruent is the key with the book. So it can be a number of things, and we've changed this through the years. First of all, the bump, the number one thing, we call it the bump on the thank you page. So you buy the book, and then boom, when you're about to be I thank you for buying the book. What do I offer? I offer the audio book with me reading the book on audio. Guess what? 30% of book buyers buy the audio book for another $20. It's $19. So now the purchase has gone from $20 to the book. We've added another $19 with this audiobook. Now, after that bump, the audiobook bump, then what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 upsells. I like to do 2 upsells. I like to do 1 bump, which is the audiobook, and then we like to do the 2 upsells. So the first upsell is something that's congruent and makes the book better. So when it comes to your upsells, regardless of what you're selling, ask yourself this question always. Does selling this upsell increase the value of the main thing? So does my upsell increase the value of the book for my client and customer? If not, don't offer an upsell. Don't be offering things that aren't congruent. Only offer products as upsells that are going to help the buyer. So somebody buys my physical book for $20 or $30. Well, the audio book is certainly congruent. That's the bump. That's certainly congruent and is going to help a lot because a person can listen to the book, they can read the book. So then I've got options, multiple options for the 2 upsells. In my case, in the past, I've done a video of the book where I literally teach the 25 badass rules that are in the book. That way a person can read the book, they can the audio book and also the video, different ways of learning. I've also offered webinar training classes as upsells, lifestyle training, how to make what you're learning in the book actually happen in your world. I've offered in the past my $150 million marketing swipe file because these are all the marketing pieces that I've used for the last 22 years to sell over $150 million of products and services. So as you can see, your upsells need to be congruent. And if you do a good job with the upsells, whether you're asking or whether it's online or offline, you're going to get a take of 20 to 30%. Our audiobook is at the top. That's a great number that Marc-Andre has achieved with 20% people taking the audiobook. As far as other upsells, depending on the price point, anywhere from 1% right up to 30%, depending on the price. And that's all found money. That's like going to the supermarket and you're standing there at the cash. Emery and I were in Dunkin' Donuts the other day. And what did I say to you about everything? We were waiting in line to get a coffee. And what was all around us? Impulse buys. Impulse buys. And it was, what was it? It was bags of coffee. What was it? Decaf coffee. All kinds of stuff that a person will just simply grab. And then at a grocery store, when you're waiting in line with mommy at the grocery store, what's all the kind of stuff that's all around the cash?
Gum, magazines.
Yeah, gum and magazines, chocolate bars, anything and everything that people can grab. And I would say about 30% of people grab something and throw it in the old shopping cart. So very, very interesting. The question is, how can you, Emery, when you have your business, always add a couple of upsells? Usually it's a bump and then 2 upsells. Our bump is the audiobook and our 2 upsells are 2 digital products that help with the book. In other words, they help make the book even more valuable. If you haven't purchased my book, go to nobullbook.com. Yeah, go ahead. Go to nobullbook.com and check it out and go through the system. You buy the physical book and then it'll take you to a thank you page which offers the $19 audio book, which 30% of people take. And then after that, there's 2 single pages. One will take you to a lower priced digital coaching program to help you implement what's in the book, the 25 rules. And then the second upsell that Marc-Andre's put together is a more expensive, more advanced digital coaching program that is a higher price, high ticket. So it's just amazing what that does in terms of covering our expenses of marketing the book. You know, I have to pay for ads in Forbes magazine. I have to pay for ads in the Wall Street Journal. I have to pay for ads in Success magazine. I have to pay for ads in Entrepreneur and Inc. So this helps cover the cost of really attracting and admittedly buying a good elite customer. Like the great Dan Kennedy always says, whoever can spend the most money to buy a customer in business wins. Think about that for a second. Whoever can spend the most money to buy a customer in business wins. And that's where you want to have your upsells in there to support how much you can spend on your advertising, how much you can spend on your promotion and on your marketing. Okay, have we done this? Have we done this street?
No.
Okay, well let's start.
We haven't done anything on here.
Okay, so we're gonna start here at the stop sign and we're gonna come back and we're gonna do every house we can on the far side of the street. Does that make sense? Is that a winning plan?
Yes.
Okay, upsells, 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 Emery, upsells, upsells, upsells. Make sure it's something that's congruent and make sure it's something that adds value to the main product that you're selling. If you need help with any of the stuff we're talking about, you can buy my book at nobullbook.com. You can subscribe to my monthly paper and ink ugly world building newsletter. I mail it to you every single month at your home or business. You can subscribe to my Brotherhood, my newsletter Brotherhood at, let's go across here, car coming. Okay, let's go across here. You can subscribe. Let's start with this house, sweetheart. You can start by subscribing to the monthly newsletter letter at We're at badassletter.com. That's badassletter.com right here, sweetie. There you go. Good idea. And finally, you can apply for your seat at one of my elite Badass Brotherhood online masterminds. No travel, no airports, just we meet every 2 weeks. Make sure they get that. Good. There's a dog right there. And that is at badassworldbuilders.com. Badassworldbuilders.com. That's it. We got flyers to pass out. And I'm glad that you could join me today. What are the 2 words that changed Daddy's life and the 2 words that change your life?
Be relentless.
Great job. See you guys.